All right, YouTube, I'm going to show you a prototype that I'm working on right now for rebonds for the King Trading Company. If you notice this Bible here, this is the CSB personal size. I've nicknamed it the Pit Minion because it's the same dimensions as a Cambridge Pit Minion. Everything's the same as far as the size and the layout of the Bible, except this is not a reference Bible. And the font is 7.5 instead of like 6.75 in the Cambridge. It's a little bit smaller. But anyway, other than that, the dimensions, which is what I'm most interested in the Pit Minion, is the size of it. This is the CSB. It's like a Pit Minion, the personal size. And with my business for the King Trading Company, I make a lot of journals. So this is, I do wallets. Like this is a Field Notes wallet here. I do the journals, like an Edwards journal. I do the binders, which is this right here. And I do it in veg tan. I do most of them in this veg tan leather right here, vegetable tanned. And I hand dye these. And that's the ones I normally make. But I've been getting different leather. I've recently purchased some Horween leather, and I'm going to do another video probably at the end of next week about different leathers that I'm getting ready to use. I'm getting a lot of Horween leather in, and a couple of other pieces that are not just plain vegetable tanned leather that I have to hand dye, but Horween leather is extremely expensive. It's some of the most expensive leather out there. If you guys out there that buy leather and you know about Horween, they're very expensive. They're awesome leather though. I really love their stuff because their leather has what's called pull up in it. So it's if you get underneath it and you pull up with your finger, if I can get the light to catch it just right, you'll see this right here, and then you can rub that out. What it is in these leathers, and see this Bible does it as well. You can pull that color up on it. But there's these are infused with waxes and tallows and stuff like that. And whenever you pull on it, it will displace that wax and stuff out. And then when you rub on it, you can move it back in. So this really gains a lot of character over time. It breaks in. It doesn't wear out. A lot of crappy kind of leather will wear out on you and flake away and stuff like that. These leathers won't do that. This is not all about leather video. This is about what I'm about to start offering in the ways of Bible. So this is the personal size CSB. This is also the personal size CSB. So if I'm honest, I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from Paul's Leather Company. Paul's Leather Company does a Bible in a really simple way. If you look on the inside of it, they have a kind of a paper cardstock paste down here and here, where they paste down cardstock or leatherette paper. But their edges here are left raw. So they take raw leather and they cut it, and then they insert a book block in the middle of it, and paste down some end sheets onto it. Well, I really think the Paul's Leather Company Bibles, I love that they use this thicker kind of leather, but I don't necessarily like the paste down cardstock paper. So what I have done is, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do this Horween leather, and I'm going to have different colors that are coming in. So it's a really thick, very expensive, very nice leather. And then I'm going to line it with, I'm going to do an edge line with goat skin. This is a vegetable tan goat skin, and this is tabbed into the block. So this is if I can get you to see it here. So this is one big piece of liner right here, and I cut tabs into it. So I cut tabs out, and they stick up and they run up on the book block. And then of course I get an end sheet, put it on top of there, and I paste the tab in right here. And that's just the way, expensive Bibles like the goatskin CSB verse by verse, it's the same concept. They have a leather liner, and it's tabbed into the block right there. It's called edge line. binding. But no, the only difference here is that this leather, this goat skin, and most of the goat skin covers that you get, I love goat skin covers, are awesome. The only difference is this leather is thin. So it just needs to be, for it to be floppy, if you like it to be super floppy or whatever. It needs to be thin. Your liner needs to be thin. And then even more, you have to thin out, or what they call skive, the edges to fold this over and to stitch it and to pleat the corners. A lot of people's really into pleated corners and stuff like that. Okay, so if you're into pleated corners and thin leather, this isn't that. It's not. It's because, see, I'm not wrapping this over onto the liner. That's the only difference between like this kind of a Bible and this here, is that I'm not, the leather's just too thick to really do that with. So this is going to be a plain edge. It's just going to be the finished edge, and you have a leather liner in here. Now, this is the very first one that I've made. I just made it yesterday. So, I'm barely even, I've just done one. Okay, so most of the Bibles that I offer, I've paired with Abba through Mexico, and they're cool. I like doing business with them. However, I do want to offer something different, something that I hand make myself. I don't hand make the Abba Bibles, but I want to do these. So I want to make these a little bit more simple in that I don't want to, at least right now, I'm not going to do any hubs. I know how to do the hubs. I'm just not going to do the hubs. I'm not going to offer any special stamping. You'll get the lion logo right there on the spine, and that's going to be it. So this is going to be a simple, extremely premium leather Bible with a leather line that's edge line tabbed into the block Bible. So that's what you're looking at as far as what this leather is. Now, this is a natural Dublin. This is Horween natural Dublin. So if you're interested in that leather, if you can purchase it through the Tannery Row in Chicago, and you can find these hides there. This one, and I'll be carrying English tan as well. This one is a whiskey. So this right here is a Dublin, which is considered a vegetable tanned leather. So vegetable tan just means that this was processed and tanned with natural ingredients, tree barks and organic materials, and it takes a lot longer to tan it. Normally it's a little bit stiffer. Your properties of the leather is going to be stiffer with that. It's vegetable tan leather is generally more expensive because the process takes months instead of a few days like this. This right here is Whiskey Cavalier Horween leather. This leather was first chrome tanned, which a lot of your goat skins, like this right here, is a chrome tan leather. This was first chrome tanned, and then they go back and do a veg tan process on this leather here. This is a little bit more oily feeling, not oily, kind of a little bit more waxy to the touch. It doesn't get on you or anything, but it just feels more waxy to the touch. So what I'll be doing, I have a CSB verse by verse coming in the mail. I'm going to be out for a few days out of town, but then when I come back, I'm getting a CSB verse by verse that I'm gonna do one of these, and I think this natural, because I just did this natural Horween natural Dublin preaching binder that I preach from. I just did this one for my new preaching binder. So I'm going to do these, offer these Bibles, and I can pair them with the same leather and something like a preaching binder, a wallet, if you want to do a wallet, journals. So you can be able to really match your Bible, your preaching journal, or a binder, and a journal, and a wallet, and all the stuff you like to carry. That is leather. I think that's all I was going to say about this. And again, a couple of you have asked me about buying this one. I'm not going to sell this one because it's the first one I made, and I'm getting ready to go out of town, and I'm going to take it out with me, and I'm going to just really beat it up. I've already been wrinkling it up a lot. You can see those wrinkles there. You see this isn't one of those Bibles that you can wrinkle and wad up. You can, but it just doesn't do it as well as goat skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing is so thin. I mean, it's a thick piece of leather, but it's so thin in compared to this. This is just a thicker piece of leather. So I'm going to take it with me. I'm going to beat it up, and I'm going to see how it behaves, so that whenever I sell you a Bible, I feel pretty confident that it's going to be solid, because I don't want to sell any junk. Okay, so the system as of right now, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to buy new Bibles. I'm going to buy some CSBs. I'm going to buy some ESVs. Recommendations if there's a Bible out there you're looking for. I'm going to buy new Bibles. Then I'm going to rebind them, and I'm going to start stocking a few of them up. I can't make a ton of them just because of time, but I'm going to stock as many as I can up. If you have a preference, you want a thin line NASB 2020 edition or whatever, if you let me know, I can make one for you. But I don't, as of right now, I don't want to take in any of your old family heirloom Bibles and try to restore them, just because I don't have a lot of practice restoring any kind of Bibles that's tore up. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Sorry that I've rambled on. I hope that you've had a good look at this Bible. You can see what that's going to look like there. This leather, and again, it's going to be this one. I've got a copper leather coming in. I have a Horween black Dublin, and then I have this whiskey, and of course I'll be getting some more in as well. Anyway, if you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments below, and I will try to respond as soon as possible. Check out the website, www.forthekingtradingco.com, and I'll see you in the next video.